Good Will Hunting by Stephanie Sanchez and Min Jung Lee. A summary of Good Will Hunting would be a story about a boy named Will Hunting who is discovered by an MIT professor named Dr. Gerald Lamdou, who sees how Will has the ability to solve difficult math problems on the hallway chalkboard. Although Will is a genius at heart, he often gets himself into trouble, and in his last altercation, Dr. Lamdou showed up and was able to get Will out of prison on the condition that he works on solving math problems with him and sees a therapist. Will often hides his emotions, and therapists refuse to see him after his first session. After the fifth therapist, Dr. Lamdou resorts to contacting his old college roommate, C. McGuire. Through Scene, he is able to break through to Will, and therapy sessions end up working, and Will accepts the job offering and then rejects it to go after the girl of his dreams. We chose this movie because it had excellent ratings on the website called Rotten Tomatoes, and we also like the plot of the movie because we both have never seen this movie before. The psychological issue portrayed in the movie is borderline personality disorder. In BPD, 1 to 2% of adults meet the criteria, and twice likely for women. People with this disorder have intense fear of abandonment, episodes of anger, depression, or anxiety, and have disturbances in identity. The symptoms that Will portrayed are the intense fear of abandonment. Once Will and his Harvard girlfriend gets close, he becomes wary of their relationship and leaves her saying he doesn't love her. This symptom is contributed by his abusive father abandoning him as a child. Another symptom would be the disturbances in his identity. Even though Will is a genius, he doesn't really realize this. He blames himself for abuse he received as a child and therefore believes he is a worthless person. This results in him working as a janitor. Symptoms that Will does not apply would be that he's manipulative. Will throughout the movie does not try to be manipulative to get what he wants or persuade people to do certain things, so that symptom would not apply to him.
In general, we believe that the film had portrayed some of the symptoms we learned about BPD. The one thing that was different from our research is that in any kind of personality disorder, people don't believe there's anything wrong with him and often lack the motivation to get better. While Will said he didn't need therapy, he continues to receive it and eventually gets a little better. The film had an educational value in that it provided visual representation to how people with BPD might behave. Although the different therapy sessions were not accurate for treating Will's condition, it was still educational in the sense that it provides insight to the importance of a patient and therapist relationship. In terms of seriousness and humor, this movie had an awesome balance in making us feel sad and serious during Will's emotional therapy sessions or feel happy for Will when he gets the girl. There isn't anything we change about the movie's emotional balance. One of the two main ideas we learned from this movie is that each therapist have his own way of treating his patients. We realize there is no one correct way to effectively treat someone. Everyone reacts to treatment differently. Another thing we learned is that we were able to visualize the symptoms of BPD, and we were able to understand visually that this is possibly how someone with BPD would behave if we meet them in real life. All the fighting scenes, the therapist scenes, and the one emotional scene with Will opening about his abuse as a child provided insight to this is how the symptoms of borderline personality disorder would look like on an actual person. It really revealed to us that these symptoms do affect a person's life rather negatively, and this is something that requires attention in order for it to get better. This was a very entertaining film for us, and we will consider watching it again. It's a very good drama film with some romance, and all the elements of the film balance themselves out. We would highly recommend this film to everyone to watch because it's a modern classic. It reveals a bit of educational value on mental illness, so we believe it's a good way to expose oneself to psychology. The two films we would like to suggest are The Imitation Game and To the Bone. The Imitation Game has a good portrayal of the symptoms of autism, and the Netflix film To the Bone is really good at showing how group therapy works as well as anorexia. And this is our works cited for the textbook and movie. Thank you for watching.